worst winter breathing ever this year. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny. This is my boy, Cove. What does that say? Cove Mafia. No safe word. Yo, I don't know what's going on. How's everything doing? Happy New Year.
I mean, you had to recover from 7 inches of cove.
Yo, that was one of the more crazy names in recent history for sure. So yeah, thank you for that. Oh, hold on, let me just grab my drink. So like right before we started, I'm eating dinner, and I heard something at the door. I ordered all these T-shirts, and they just came, so I was pretty fucking pumped about that. Can't wait to try these things on. 2026, right? So I titled the show today, same or New Year, same NFL, right?
Yeah.
What do I mean when I say that, right? Every season, somewhere in the range of like 7 to 8 people potentially, or when I say people, I mean NFL head coaches get fired, right?
Yeah.
So it's 2026, and to start out the year as expected, we've gotten pretty much exactly that, right? So we're now at 7 head coaching vacancies, one GM, one or two GMs, I believe, right? So it's kind of interesting. So just to like run down the list, right? There were a lot of teams. What do we have? We have the Giants need a head coach, right? The Arizona Cardinals need a head coach. Who else? The Tennessee Titans need a head coach. Who else needs a head coach? The Cleveland Browns. Huh?
Baltimore.
Cleveland Browns, Baltimore. Right? That's 5.
Yeah.
What 2 teams am I missing?
I'm gonna say this though. Are you surprised that McDaniels has not been kicked out of Miami?
Well, so it's like I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of a weird thing. Everyone's like, well, maybe he would do better without Tua, but I don't know. Like, is that what the game plan is? Are they going to get rid of Tua?
I mean, the rumor was Tua was going to go to KC, but because we don't have Mahomes until at least September.
Well, you know what? And like, listen, there are worse ideas in like Tua being like, he wouldn't have to be a leader, right? All he has to do is show up and throw the ball around. But the problem is like, they play in cold weather games there. Like he can't really do that.
Yeah, but you need him for September because Mahomes is not coming back until September. Like he's not even going to start until September. He's going to need a couple weeks to get rehab back in.
I mean, listen, it's not the craziest idea that I've heard. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, I did hear this too.
You have to see who's available too. Like if they could get somebody available, maybe somebody goes into the playoffs, doesn't make it, and then goes, "Okay, I'll go to KC." You know what I mean? I mean, you had Kirk all of a sudden, with the Vikings, and all of a sudden off season kicked around, and all of a sudden went to the fucking Falcons, right?
Yeah, I guess you make a good point, right? Money talks.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, they got to figure something out because like officially I think it's like 92 million, give or take, on Mahomes' contract if they had to cut him at any time soon if he doesn't come back from this, for example. So they need something to figure it out while they're unhinged for 90 million, right? I'm not saying Mahomes won't come back, he probably will. But you have an ACL and an LCL tear like at the same fucking time. Like he's gonna be different. Like they try to compare him to Brady because Brady went out like that with an ACL, but it was like Brady came back. But this is an ACL with an LCL. Like this is different. This is a different type of injury when you look at it. And the fact that he's not coming back until at least mid September after coming back from rehab and going off a week or two to practice before he gets to play. So it's huge for him.
Oh, did I tell you? So this is kind of a big deal, right? So it's a good place to talk about it. I finally it's nothing, it's not major yet, but hopefully it will be one day. But I've started like my own blog. It's Vinny's Corner
Yeah.
.blog, right? If you want to get to the website, I'll post it later. But all my boxing articles are going to be going through there now, so it's going to be everything's going to be Vinny's Corner, so pretty excited. Pretty
But
excited
yeah,
about that.
you gotta get your word out there somehow, right? Not just this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wait, now okay, hold on. So now what other teams? I feel like we missed two teams.
Uh, NFL.
Right? So we have the Giants, right? Okay, we got the Ravens, the Falcons, the Browns, the Raiders. That's the two teams we forgot, the Raiders and the Falcons.
Yeah.
There you go. So kind of like I don't know, to jump into it, like for me, like I know like we have like the questions and we have other sports to talk about, etc. But I guess like the first thing I wanted to talk about, like, what do you think, right? So let me read this list off again. So we've got the Baltimore Ravens, we've got the Atlanta Falcons, the Cleveland Browns, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Arizona Cardinals, the Tennessee Titans, and the New York Football Giants. Which of those jobs to you is the most attractive for?
It's Ravens. Ravens. It has to be the Ravens. Because you look at how that team is built. If you find a coach that can figure what scheme he wanted, is he gonna run it more Lamar? Is he gonna run it more Derek? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, is this gonna be an RPO? Is this not gonna be an RPO? Like, so they gotta figure that out real quick. So they have to find a mind that can figure that out. You have a good tight end, you have two solid wide receivers, you have a decent quarterback who's coming back. He's won multiple MVPs. I mean, I can't say much more about Lamar than his resume speaks for himself. But he's never he's never won the AFC Championship. So, well, or he's tried for one, right? So it's different. Maybe if he's got a head coach that does it. I mean, Harbaugh been there for 18 years. He's got them there. He's won championships. He's got some Super Bowls. Like, it's going to be hard to change the dynamic of Baltimore without Jim Harbaugh. Especially what that team is, 25 years old at least, and he's been there for 18.
John Harbaugh. Jim
Yeah,
Harbaugh
John.
is
Yeah, Jim. Yeah, I know. I always get mixed between the brothers. Yeah, Jim and John.
Okay, so now, okay, for me, I think, and this is where I was kind of conflicted. I think that I get that side of things, right? But it feels to me like if you go to that organization, I don't know, like almost like Lamar is now in the driver's seat, right? For that organization, like they kept him, they moved on from the coach. Right? I'm sure Lamar's blessing was on them moving off of John Harbaugh. That would stand to make sense because I don't think they would have got rid of a coach that he wanted, right?
I don't think this gives Lamar a chance to run it. I think it's still going to be. There's only like two or three guys in our era of being adults that ran their offenses, which was Brady and Manning were two, and Breeze was probably the other one. These are the guys that demanded the respect, but I can't say I'm gonna be. I'll be candid with that and say that like nobody else got to run their offense like those three guys did.
I'm not saying it necessarily like that, but like he kind of gets his way within the organization. Like they're gonna do everything. Like they're whatever coach they bring in, it's gonna have to be somebody. I don't know. To me, that is not. And I get Lamar's talent, etc. I don't believe Lamar Jackson is ever going to the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl. That's just how I feel. I don't know. To me, it's not the most attractive.
I have more faith in Herbert making it.
No, and I can see why you would say that. Now for me, I like obviously I'm a Giants fan. I see a ton of upside in going to the Giants side of things, but then I also see the huge negative when you go in there, you have to go in with the old GM, Shane, which a lot of people don't like. I know as Giants fans, we're not happy that he's staying. So I don't know. I don't know that I would say that's the most attractive one either. I like the idea of Cam Ward, but like I don't know what is going on in Tennessee with regard to like ownership. Like, why did they move off of Vrabel just to bring this coach in, just to fire him right away? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a hard time kind of reconciling a lot of this stuff. The Shador of it all in Cleveland, I think that's an interesting side of things as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
He played good football in the end of the season, and it almost felt like he put the nail in Stefanski's coffin for him. I don't know, which is weird, right? I don't know. Maybe Stefanski helped develop him too, but it's just strange. So,
one surprise, because I had to grab something, but I found it and I was like, oh, this was just for Vince. I was like, okay. You know how I love the Knicks, right? I told you I would get you with something, right? But
well, for those of you who don't know, he's not even like really a basketball fan. He just likes to hate on the Knicks. Yo, I hope Jones sees this, and I hope he.
Oh, and I designed something specifically for you. Oh, a memorial of Indiana beating the Knicks with the score up there and everything.
You use like you use good quality ink to print this stuff out just to troll me live on X, huh? That's my boy. That's my boy right there.
To be fair, give me 1 second here. I don't know. Wow, that's interesting. I'll find it later. But during the holidays, I made you a card, and when I get your address, I'm going to send it down to you. And to be fair warning, it has to do with the New York bricks and the memorial of this nice art piece that you're going to get.
I'm all for it. I'm all for that, my friend. I am. I am truly, truly blessed to have such wonderful Canadian friends like yourself. It warms my heart. It truly warms my heart. All right. So now
I should make that into I should print that on a shirt and wear it as a jersey. Just yeah.
I mean,
the New York
I
bricks.
would wear it as a jersey. You could wear it as like I would wear a jersey of like Halliburton laying on the floor crying, probably. Like something like that would be more up my alley. But I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right. So now, out of the coaches who were fired, right? It seems like what's this guy? It seems like John Harbaugh is like the hot commodity. The rumor was that the Giants were looking to immediately interview him as soon as today. So a lot of Giants fans are waiting, to hear that we potentially got a Super Bowl winning coach. But it's like a weird thing, right? Like this guy was just in Baltimore with like one of the best quarterbacks in football. Lamar, right? Threw for like 40 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions last season. Like he's that kind of good. And seemingly enough, John was not able to kind of put together. I don't know. Was it his coaching? Was it team play? So I guess I'd like to ask you that, Cove. What do you think? It feels like to me, right? Everyone blames like say if you go back to the game last year when the Bills and the Bills and the Ravens played in the divisional round. In the second half of the game, it felt like John Harbaugh stopped using Derrick Henry, and it became something where like they had to throw the ball, and then an incomplete pass didn't work out the way they planned it. Right? Oh, this guy had to catch it. This guy had to catch it. Well, why did they get away from their game plan?
Yeah,
right?
It was really weird how they did that because Derek was fucking running a hell of a game,
He was kicking their butts.
and all of a sudden, just
In the second half, he had like 3 or 4 touches the whole half. It was like it was extremely odd. He wasn't injured. He was still on the field. He just wasn't getting the ball. So, right, there are certain things where I'm like, as a fan, I'm like, well, that was like pretty egregious coaching, in my opinion. What'd you say?
in a way, yeah. You say it was egregious in a way, and I say, yeah, I was
Um,
egregious.
but so that's been the immediate though. Him and Kevin Stefanski have been the immediate talks about potential interviews with the Giants. It sounds like a guy, like the Falcons coach Raheem Morris. He may not look at this fucking guy. Are
What?
you serious?
What?
Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
yo, this guy is a White Sox fan. He's a White Sox fan.
What? Am I wearing something inappropriate?
Is that a Shohei jersey?
No,
Oh, it's plain.
it's plain. If I was gonna get it, I would get a Kiki Hernandez one. Just saying.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, Kiki is Kiki. In the playoffs, he's solid. You can't be wrong. You can't go wrong with him.
All right. So let me look at these. Questions you sent over here real quick. So with the playoff picture set and predictions pointing towards a highly competitive postseason, which under the radar teams do you believe have the best shot at pulling off an upset and making a deep run into the playoffs? So that's a pretty so we got to look at the AFC and the NFC, right? In a case like this. Let's pull up the playoff bracket. Right. So AFC from 1 through 7, we've got the Broncos, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Steelers, the Texans, the Bills, and the Chargers. I think this. So, I mean, realistically, in the AFC, I mean, you've got a team, right? You've got the Bills at a 6 seed, right? So, but here's the other thing. I think that a lot of people think are just expecting the Bills to win. So the team that I would say, I think for the AFC, I think it's especially if you've been watching the last 6 weeks or so of NFL, it's got to be T-Law, Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars. Like that kid's been playing crazy football for the last month and a half. They just look. I think they're going to blow the Bills out. If I'm being completely honest with you, so I think that's the big one in the first round, and I think that the Jags can make a bid, kind of make it all the way, right? To the AFC Championship game or better. Jags Broncos wouldn't be a crazy AFC Championship, but I think it's going to end up being the Texans and the Jags, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
In the NFC, now in the NFC side, you got the 1 seed, the Seahawks, right? The 2 seed is the Bears. The 3 seed is the Eagles. Then you've got the Panthers at the 4, the Rams at 5, the 49ers at 6, and the Packers at 7. I think that the Packers have been kind of grossly underestimated. Even they're a favorite. They are a favorite. But like I feel like people have been kind of like writing them off a little bit because of injuries and just not quite getting into early season form in the back half of the season. They could be a team. I would love to say the Panthers, but I feel like the Panthers are going to get shellacked by the Rams. Matt Stafford on his game.
The interesting part, and I was talking this to my roommate the other day, the Carolina Panthers. Just think about this one. When has the Carolina Panthers played in a Super Bowl?
2015,
Okay. Then when before that?
2015, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay. 2015 was their last Super Bowl. The
Yeah.
last one before that was 2005. The last one before that was 1995. And now it's 2025 one.
Oh, you're going with the conspiracy theory. I love this. I'm all for a good conspiracy theory. So you think that because it's now the 10th year, the 2025,
Yeah.
that they're going to they're going to make a run. That would be, Bryce Young and Ted McMillan and these guys making a Rico Dowdle making a freaking a Super Bowl run. That would
Yeah.
be epic. That would be really
But
cool. Okay, that's your NFC.
yeah. But I mean, it was just oh wow, because I thought you'd pick up on the change, but because Broncos and I'm wearing Lions right about now.
Well, you're doing this, so what is going on, bro? I don't know what's going. Yo, you just said Dodgers a second ago. It's
Yeah.
still blue. Like what? Jesus Christ. What's going on with the Lions?
Well, I'd say Lions. I've heard rumors that Goff could be moved again.
Goff could get moved again for who?
That's the thing is it was just more of a fan theory. It wasn't like anybody was really talking, but they were saying Goff could finally get moved again because maybe Detroit figured out where they were going and they thought Goff was it, but Goff's not it. He's not the guy to get him to that last whatever. Even though he played amazing this season, like he was getting close to MVP caliber for a minute there, but it comes down to Drake May and um.
Well, I think the issue in that team is Dan Campbell, the coach.
I don't
I
think so.
just
I think it's Goff
I like
because if you look at the history of Goff, and I love the dude, right? But if you look at the history, the Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. They traded they built that team for Goff, and he went to the Super Bowl with that team. Then Detroit rebuilt, and okay, well the same theory. It's like we'll get rid of Goff again for a quarterback, and maybe this team with this leader is going to get us that win.
you guys didn't know that Cove was such a conspiracy theorist, did you? I love this stuff. I love these. I love the theories.
2019, getting rid of Bryce Harper, Nationals one. What could it happen again with Bryce Harper being moved from the Phillies?
But didn't he resign?
Yeah, I know, but just saying, what if Philly does the same thing? They get rid of Bryce Harper, and the next year they win a championship without Harper with the same
Well,
team he played with last year.
I
I'm
don't
just
think
saying,
that.
I'm elevating it with a similar player. Like if you took Bryce Harper, you moved him from one team, they won a championship. You move him from another team, they could because Philly always falls apart,
Okay,
right? The Phillies.
back to your question. Your
Yeah.
question.
Anyway, I know we
Wait,
sidetracked on that.
your
So yeah,
NFC team you gave me. Who's the AFC team that you think could be a surprise?
I'm gonna go with Chargers.
Okay. Why do you think? No. Like, is it because of coaching? Because I believe in Jim Harbaugh enough to just think that he could coach them up there.
It's that, but then I'm just saying because now he's got no allegiance, and whatnot, and you've seen it with, and I know that this way I'm gonna think is gonna start something with me and you about something, but it's the same way with Peyton and Eli. Like Eli was going to the Super Bowl, so he had Peyton in his ear while he wins the Super Bowls. John could help Jim in his ear during the playoffs because he's not part of that. He's not part of Baltimore right now. He's not part of anything, so he can freely help Jim think in a different way when he coaches this playoffs.
I mean, it would be cool if
I know it's
he.
highly suggesting that Eli won championships because Peyton was in his ear.
I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Yeah.
Um, but Eli won championships because Eli's the motherfucking goat. Let me just put that out there real quick.
Compared to
Oh my,
Peyton, not so much, but let's just
yeah.
we'll leave it to the record books to prove that one.
Listen, man. One guy is called the GOAT. Another guy beats him twice in the championship. Then he therefore must be the GOAT, right? So,
Yeah, okay.
like, I'm just connecting the dots. That's all. Yo,
Brady was switching wives. He was preoccupied. He went from an actress to a Super Bowl, so he was a little preoccupied.
that's crazy. All right, so now to switch gears to Harbaugh. Where are we going with this? Oh, hold on. Let me just read this question out loud. I'm gonna read exactly what it says here because then I can't like change my response. The Ravens have fired John Harbaugh after 18 seasons, and he's now the favorite to land with the Giants. How would a Harbaugh Stefanski coach swap or other major coaching moves reshape the balance of power in the AFC? Okay, so the reason why something like that wouldn't happen because they're in the same division, they're not going to trade coaches with each other. If they were out of division, I would see it, but the Browns and the Ravens and the Browns and the Ravens specifically have bad blood. So that would never happen. Now, with that being said, the immediate firing of John Harbaugh and the potential of him moving to the NFC in the Giants, or possibly who knows, the Cardinals or another contender, right? So apparently 7 teams reached out to him almost immediately. Now, 7 teams fired their coaches, but one of those teams was his old team. So that means that the 7th team is a team that has an active seated coach right now that were like, yo, John Harbaugh just got fired. To hell with this guy. Let's go see if he's available.
Yeah.
So I think that will shift things in the NFC, certainly, right? He's a proven commodity. I don't think that it's like suddenly he can't coach. I just think that he became kind of stale with that. And like he needs a fresh start. The team needs a fresh start. I think it'll be better for Lamar and the Ravens. I think it'll be better for him, Harbaugh. Now, that being said, so Zach Taylor must be on the hot seat if he's not going to get fired. That's the Bengals coach. Stefanski was just fired. Harbaugh was just fired. And then you've got Tomlin, who just managed to win another division. But that division had 2 tenured coaches that were there for 18 plus years. A coach that was a 2-time coach of the year, and then Zach Taylor. Now it's got, basically Mike Tomlin. So, I think that changes things for sure in the AFC. Now, for better or worse, we have yet to be seen. One would think it will be better for other teams, but, then John Harbaugh hasn't had that much success in recent years. So I don't know.
It would like if you did, but I'm saying how would though? That was more the way I questioned it. If that happened, how would it reshape it? Like you take Safari and you put him in Baltimore, and you put Harbaugh in Cleveland. Would Shador balance out of that? Like would that help Shador?
It might. It might not. It might though. Harbaugh seems to know what he's doing with quarterbacks.
Yeah. I mean, he's helped reshape Lamar, so like he probably can be like, I can do the same with Shador.
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that Stefanski and Lamar would get on. And that's the thing. That's the reason why I don't know that would work.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I could be wrong, right? So teams like the Patriots and Steelers finished strong this season. And how much do you think coaching hires this offseason and potentially new offensive philosophies will affect their playoff odds for 2026? For those teams specifically, I don't see there being any coaching changes at all on any level possible in New England. I think the entire New England staff and the football, I think that team's going to run it back next year as is. If, let's say, the Steelers lost in the first round again, and then Mike Tomlin and the Steelers decided to part ways. I mean, I think it would. I think depending on who the new coach was, like it could change things a lot. You know, I don't know who that would be, but I think that's a real possibility. Like if he loses in the first round of the playoffs again, like what's your excuse this time?
Yeah.
It's been so they were saying on ESPN there have been 3 presidential inaugurations since the last time Tomlin won a playoff game. That's wild. Like what? Like that's wild.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. It's been like 10 years, dude. Like that's a long time. So I don't know. I think, but like if they got the right coach, but I think here's the thing, like the Steelers are just like I don't know what they're doing. Like they won their division again, and now they have a coach that or a quarterback that's like my age. Like what the fuck? Like what's the game plan beyond 2025, 2026? Like what is the like? You know, I think coaching is just a part of the issue over there right now. You know, they don't have a quarterback. I don't know, like their defense is getting old. Like, you know, the Steelers might need to hang it up, man. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh though. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, what does Pittsburgh do after Rodgers leaves? Like, do they draft this year, draft next year? Like, do they sign somebody?
You just won your division, so you're not going to have that good of a draft pick.
Yeah.
You know, are you going to be willing to pay to move up and get the quarterback? You know, the Raiders are going to take Mendoza, right? I mean, I think. So then they would have to move up for who? Dante Moore?
Yeah, but is Mendoza being oversold though? Like really? Because there's been a lot of speculations of why he shouldn't have won the Heisman and all that junk and whatnot.
I don't know. I mean, listen, here's what I know. I've been a hater since day one because what the fuck is Indiana football?
Yeah. But I'll give you an example. Like, okay, so this is the first time the Raiders have a number 1 since their last number 1 draft pick.
Who, Jamarcus Russell?
Yes. And Jamarcus withheld information to why he wasn't the number 1 when everybody thought he was the number 1. And that was a bust. So, I mean, this could potentially harm. Now, I think with Brady as an owner, they're going to have a little more QB knowledge on what they're looking for. But doesn't mean Mendoza's the answer. Like, everybody's just putting Mendoza as the number 1. But doesn't mean. I mean, we got to wait till Friday, right? When they play Ohio. Or who are they playing? Is they playing Ohio? Oh, Oregon. Sorry. They're playing Oregon.
Ohio State's
India. Yeah. That's why I corrected myself. So, Oregon. So, we got to see how they play against Oregon. And then if he wins that game, and then if he wins the national championship, then his stock rises up.
But here's what's happening. Every week, somebody else, just like you, do exactly what you just did there. Every week, some other analyst, some other pundit somewhere is like, well, I don't know. Like, who is this guy Mendoza? What is Indiana football? What's going on here? I don't even know if he's really this good. I don't even. Yeah. And then he comes out the next week and he smokes another team who is that good. And we're like, oh, well, he does that to like good teams regularly. He beats up everyone that they put in front of him. Like, they play really good football as a team and he leads them and he does a good job at it. He's reactive. He shows a high football IQ on the field. And you know what I mean? Like he doesn't seem like a dummy by any stretch of the imagination. Now, again, I don't know. I don't know. I would love to see him be. I would love for Francisco Mendoza to be him. I would love for him to be him and to go to the Raiders and for the Raiders organization to gain stability around a good quarterback. And like, that would be awesome. It'd be good for the NFL. It'd be good for
Mhm.
my life because my wife is a Raiders fan. I'd be all for that. But I don't know. I don't know. I understand your calling into question because like my initial reaction to the whole thing, I'm like, well, they're Indiana. Indiana stunk it up in the playoffs last year, but
Mhm.
this is not last year's Indiana. This is a much better team. This kid's playing hella football. This team's playing hella football. So I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, when he plays Oregon, we'll see what happens. I have a
I think
running
they're
bet.
going to blow Oregon out.
I have them on a +4 on Friday. So that's what I had them as.
Like in the
Plus
course of
4
this
coach.
season, I
Yeah.
went from they're frauds to they're going to blow out Oregon.
I mean, this is no different. Indiana being good is no different when Stanford was good because they had Andrew Luck. It's just sometimes there's a caliber quarterback that's just that good.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at
Do you
all.
remember when Boise State had a good run of like 2 or 3 years because of the division they're in and who they play? They questioned if Boise State could go for a national championship.
Well, but that's different. Indiana is in the Big Ten.
Yeah. But that's what I was getting at. I was like, that quarterback now never really got a starting. He never really got a good run on a start. Now he's head coaching of the Saints, and he's like the all-time winningest quarterback in college football history because he won so many games in Boise State when he played because they were so dominant when he played.
Who? Kellen Moore?
Yeah,
Interesting fact. I didn't know that.
yeah, he has the most wins by a CFB in history so he has the best winning percentage or whatever. Because when he was in Boise State, he was doing 12-1s and 13-0s. Like he was just dominating that division. So he has the numbers, but you see what happened with Kellen Moore. He's now a head coach. He's not even a starting quarterback anymore.
Well, um, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's in his 30s. He's the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and he's good at his job. They probably have found their quarterback for right now, and Tyler Show. Um, uh,
I
so
mean, I was gonna ask you about him. Like, do you really believe he's their quarterback or just their quarterback right now?
I mean, I have no reason to not think so for the moment, right?
I
Um,
mean, he's chasing with Spencer Rattler, and Rattler obviously that's why I brought it up is because we talked about Rattler before. It's like I'm surprised Rattler's not competing as much as he should be.
well, nobody's competing right now. At this point, it's just this kid Tyler. Now
Yeah.
and with how good he's played on the back half of this season, I don't know, man. If he had played a full season, what would their season have looked like? I don't know.
hmm
So, kind of tough to say. Um, so now, I guess here's my question. Um, NFL is this weekend, right? So the wild card weekend kicks off on what, Saturday?
hmm
I'm asking. I don't know. Hold on. I'm looking. I'm
Yeah,
looking right
it's
now.
broken
And
up in
I'm
3 days. It's broken up in 3 days. There's so many games on one day, so many games on another day, and then the last day is just one game. I think it's the Jaguars game is on the last day or something. I believe so.
okay. Yeah. So it's on. It's what, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday or something.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, listen. There are other sports in this world, and they've been kind of what I've been a little more focused on.
hmm
Call it what it is. Um, the NHL. Obviously, I'm wearing my famous Vegas Golden Knights T-shirt that I own multiples of.
Mm.
They're not looking so hot. They've been very shaky up and down. But NHL has been kind of interesting as a whole, I would say. I know you're a big
Yeah.
NHL guy, so
Yeah, I
why don't
was
we
talking
talk
about
a
it
little about
tonight.
that?
Like everybody is so like one side when we go with the West Coast, right? The top three teams in the Central have a hold on the West, and the rest of the playoffs key teams are coming from the Pacific. While in the other side, it's pretty much split between both divisions, right? But it's basically the Western Conference is owned by the Pacific, basically, with the teams that are there, the caliber, with the Knights being there, Knights, the Kings, stuff like that. And the Sharks are in a playoff potential right now. So you have
Uh,
Sharks, Kings, Knights all competing. But the biggest surprise, though, I've seen so far is remember last year Winnipeg was like the best team in the league, and now they barely got 15 wins this year. Like
well, yeah.
they've
So,
done a complete collapse.
what's I was wondering actually, right? So, from a betting standpoint, I don't watch a lot of Winnipeg Jets games if they're not playing like the Golden Knights or the Islanders. I'm not necessarily watching their games. Um,
Hmm.
by the way, the Islanders have 24 wins on the season. They're looking
Yeah,
pretty good out there, but uh, Winnipeg was like an easy, 50-win team last year.
yeah,
So what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, what
yeah. I
happened?
don't know. I don't know. I think like Hellebuck like got injured, and he's just got a slow, recovery from it. I just don't know. Now they brought in Jonathan Towes and whatever, and that's been a change of pace for that team too, right?
Well, here's the thing. Now, this is what's weird. Isn't didn't they announce Hellebuck for the Olympics?
Yeah. No, but I'm saying this season it feels like I think he had an injury or two earlier on. It's kind of hit the way he plays,
I
like
don't know
and
what's
whatever. It
I
gets
mean,
kind of hindered. It's kind of like Igor, right? Zerkin, like he should be playing as with that Rangers team. He should be competing right now, and he's barely in there. Like he's the Islanders are doing better than the Rangers, and that's the surprise, right? Zerkin's never really been bad, but the last two seasons we were talking about last year, the Rangers were in a playoff contention, and then bam, they're not. And then they haven't been since then. They've collapsed completely. I don't know if getting rid of Kreider was the smartest move because getting rid of Kreider kind of stapled fucking the Rangers. They lost one of their potential goal scorers, defenseman. Everything he did for that team was amazing, and you can see losing Chris Kreider. And the Ducks started off hot with Kreider, so like they've made some moves that have hurt them a little bit. Same thing as
um,
Vancouver getting rid of Quinn Hughes, giving him to Minnesota. Now Minnesota's you guys were joking about when I was mentioning Minnesota, and then they get Quinn Hughes, and
well, the
Minnesota's
big
up there right now.
the big difference for the Islanders, I would say, is probably in goaltending. So where it
And
was Sorokin.
Schaefer's been amazing too. He's been a phenomenal draft pick.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. But it was Sorokin and Varlamov. Now
Yeah.
it's Sorokin and Rittich. And Rittich has 11 wins on the season already.
Hmm.
So he's a good second goalie. You know what I mean? He's playing
Hmm.
really well for them. But the
I,
Islanders are also scoring a hell of goals. The Islanders are a high scoring team this season, which is pretty exciting. So um, now let's see what the questions are here. NHL players returning to the Olympics in Milan Cortina and big names like Leon Draisaitl expected to lead the national teams. Um, excuse me, which Olympic hockey storyline should fans follow more closely? Roster surprises, NHL stars, international competition. Um, so I'm just going to open that question to you. What do you think?
I mean, I took some flack from this the other day, speaking not about the Olympic roster, but just about Team Canada. And someone's like, they got really uptight with me because I said they said that like hockey's a rich sport, which it is. It costs a lot of money to do it, but they were like they felt like the Team Canada only getting bronze this year had no heart in it, and it's like it's not. We've won 3 golds, 1 silver, 1 bronze. You guys won two back to back golds in the World Juniors. I'm like, so that's going to go into the Olympics, right? And but you know how it always works: the USA versus Canada always when it comes to the Olympics. But now you see Finland and Sweden and Slovakia fucking doing amazing. Like they got some amazing teams. So I will be very surprised that like if it is a Canada USA final.
Um. Okay. Well, so
So like what I mean is like the talent now, the talent pool in the NHL, it used to be like 60% Canadians. Now it's like 40, not 20%. The Americans have the same number, if not more. But now you got Finland and fucking Germany and Great
so
Britain. And you got these other countries.
what team, right? So everyone historically, right, especially in the Olympics, you watch Russia, you watch Canada, you watch the United States, right? Those are the big hockey countries, right?
Mm.
What country would you say would be a good one for people to follow now? So would you say Finland would be a good one?
Sweden.
Sweden.
Sweden has a good depth. We haven't had a lot of great Finnish players. Like there has been great Finnish players, but if I was going to go between Sweden or Finland, oh yeah, I definitely go Sweden. There's tons of talent coming out of Sweden, and a lot of these kids you're going to see, especially Sweden and Finland. Unlike USA, USA's got a lot of
Well,
NHL
so who's
players.
like who's a popular NHL name from Team Sweden?
Well, it's usually a Carlson. There's always a Carlson. There's always a
There
Carlson.
is always a Carlson.
Absolutely. Yes.
K-A-R. Yeah, Carlson with the K. It's a
Yeah.
fact.
So I
Um,
mean, but I mean, their goaltending's been amazing. Sweden just won World Juniors, right? They won the
who's
goal.
the starting goalie for Sweden?
That's what I don't know is like because I don't know the young ones like that. I used to be like
Well, what
okay.
about like okay, say not juniors, but like their regular country team?
I would have to look it up. I haven't looked up this.
Because
I
like I'm
seen
trying to think like
USA has announced their roster and Canada's announced their roster. Now we're just waiting for Finland and Sweden to really
are
unveil
there
their roster.
any starting goalies from Sweden in the NHL right now?
Not that I can on top of my head. No, like I couldn't think of Swedish goalies. That's why I was saying about the team that went to World Juniors. Like that's the guy. These all of those kids are the ones that are going to represent the Olympic team per se. Outside of the very select Sweden players and Finland players. It's made of the it's basically the Olympic roster for Sweden and Finland is made up of NHL, so much NHL, and then it's made up of so much of the World Juniors because Macklin Celebrini got invited to the Olympic roster. So Finland and Sweden are going to use the World Juniors and World Men's, and they're going to figure out that roster with that.
Yo, um, Linus Olmark,
Oh yes, Allmark. I forgot about Allmark.
Olmark, Markstrom, and
Yeah,
Gustafsson.
yeah,
Three good goalies from Sweden. Three
yeah.
really good. Of a Zenit Trophy winner. Like these are good goalies. Wow, that's crazy.
So
That's
yeah,
interesting.
so I couldn't think of it, but it was just like
Um, so what about this Dallas Stars rookie? How do you pronounce this kid's name? Justin.
I can't pronounce it.
It's
Like,
like Ricalian.
mhm.
So he's a rookie, right? He
Yeah.
just got a contract extension. And he's like, how old is he? He's like 20, 19.
Hmm. Yeah, because
He's a young
they
dude.
gotta find a backup for Ottinger, right? A solid backup for Ottinger.
Yeah. Well, so is that what he is? Is he a goalie?
I think so. Who?
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So it'd be interesting. It's the same as like when I put up like the Olympic rosters, and I told you to look at the Russia ones, and then there I showed you the Russian roster, and I shared it in chat, and it's like that is a dangerous roster if Russia was allowed to play.
Is Russia not allowed to participate in the Olympics still?
Nope.
The Russians?
Yeah, until the war has ended with Ukraine, they are not allowed to compete. They can come as like a sovereign nation, like representative of Russia or something like that, but they can't be Russia. They were there before; it was like a different whatever. But when it comes to the Olympic hockey, it's like it has to be they have to pick it. Like just like Soviet Union was very when it comes to hockey, yeah, they specific. They want the NHL players, if anything. But if you have a political connection, you're not allowed to compete in the Olympics. I mean, I'll give the IOC one good thing. They are consistent. When they nail a law or a rule, it affects everybody in general. It's not stuck to one country, one person, one skin type, nothing. They're very thorough on the rules of what they allow. So
Okay, okay. You're kind of my source for all this stuff. If I'm being completely honest, you're the
but
source.
we're still waiting though. I haven't found anything official yet to say they are good with what's going on. But the arena that they built for the hockey a month ago wasn't even complete. Didn't even have a roof.
It
And
looked crazy.
yeah, and they said they have until January 27th to be ready. And if they're not ready, the NHL is ready to pull it and say we're not going, which would be a major change because the NHL would have to figure out what they're doing with an All Star game, whatever, and all that stuff. All that time they slotted off. So I think they kind of have to go. But the thing is, if there's no fucking roof in your goddamn arena, you can't host the event.
Well, they'll get that sorted out between. I mean, a month in a month's time, they could build a whole. There's a lot they could do in a month. I think they'll be fine. But I saw that same thing too, and I was like, wait, that's a little crazy. But I think they'll be okay. I hope so, because not having hockey at the Winter Olympics would be really weird.
Yeah, it wouldn't be
The best part of the Winter Olympics,
yeah.
that and curling.
Mhm. I
Curling's so.
know some people like can't get into curling, but curling is especially when it's nations. It's insane.
It's a very interesting one.
Yeah, you kind
Um,
of really get into it.
so all right. I wanted to touch on the NBA because I wanted to give you some time to hate on the Knicks, and I wanted to give you a little time to hate on the Knicks too, for myself because we just lost to Detroit Pistons by like 30 something points, and that upset me dearly. Lost me some money too, but we'll worry about that another time. So with teams like the Pistons and the Celtics currently near the top of the Eastern Conference standings, which storylines are better in performances, injury impacting? What things do you think are going to have the biggest effect on these teams? For me, I think that the biggest thing for the Eastern Conference is the Knicks' performance.
Hmm.
I think the Knicks have the ability to be the clear one, but they need to perform like that. So I think they affect everybody else at the top. I think that the Knicks, the Pistons, the Celtics are probably going to be the top teams, and the Cavs top like 3-4 teams, which I would expect, right? But depending on it's really going to be their in-conference play, I think, more than anything, right? Head to head. Like this is one of the things so last season, right? One of the things the Knicks had a real hard time with was beating the top teams. You know, if they can't beat the Cavs, if they can't beat the Celtics during the regular season, then how does it affect everything? Well, it just means that they're going to have a lower seed than they should, and it's going to give these other teams the opportunity to have a better seed later. You know, so it just kind of depends. You look like you are shot right now, my friend. It's okay. I understand.
Late night. Early morning.
Back at the hospital?
No. I just woke up really early, and it's late now, right?
Okay. So we'll talk about that later. So another one that I thought was kind of an interesting one, you had touched on the impact of rookie players. And, you know, so the one that you had first brought up that I guess everybody thinks of is Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg has been fantastic. I also wanted to highlight, though, for me, the guy who's been like the rookie that's had the biggest impact, I think, immediately is VJ Edgecombe on the Philadelphia 76ers. But I also think that Cooper has kind of taken over the role, and he's running Cooper is not like a true point guard, and he's running that kind of a role right now a lot of the times, and kind of like running the show for Dallas, which I think is really cool. So I'm pretty happy about that personally. But I think it's good to see what the rookies are doing early on, and the fact that they're making their presence felt. It's exciting for the league, I think. Bailey looks pretty good over there in Utah. All around, though, I think as a whole, this class has looked strong. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Listen, so the last thing that I wanted to just touch on, guys, I'm going to put a post out there later today so you can check it out. There's already one out there, but as I was explaining earlier, if you go to Vinny with the Y, so Vinny's Corner, VINNYS Corner, CORNER.blog, BLOG. That is my new website. It's my new little blog where I'll be writing about boxing, you know, because I love to talk about boxing. I love to talk about all sports, but I like to write about boxing too. It's kind of my thing. So I wanted to just highlight that. As always, guys and everybody, thank you for chiming in. Thank you for joining us tonight on Vinny's Corner. My guy Cove, do you guys have anything else going on this week?
Yeah, tomorrow night, same time.
Tomorrow night, same time. All right, guys. Tomorrow night, same time. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful week from Vinny's Corner. Take care, everybody. Why didn't it didn't end?